Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Kyrex, and I'm just here with the Mermails combo deck profile. This isn't using the Aurora Dawn package. This is just kind of pure Mermails um, with all the other stuff like frogs and Atlanteans that you usually play in the Mermail deck. But yeah, so you have a deck profile here, and then I'm going to show you some like test hands that are my replays that I've just kind of messed around with, and then I'll go and make a live test hand type of thing, so you can see like what to do on the fly. I'm a little new to this deck, so I'm sorry if I butcher anything, but like I feel pretty comfortable with it now after I've been testing it for a little bit. And I apologize for the clicking. I don't have like a pop filter or anything to get rid of all like the background noise, so hopefully it's not too bad for you. I have a little jank setup, but anyways, yeah, let's get into it. So I'm playing the cross out designator stuff just to play around Nib, because that's a big killer, and then of course the other hand trap. So I'm playing Nibiru, Ash Blossom, and Effective Veiler. Those three seem to be the most common. I was playing Imperm, but I cut that because I needed some more room. I mean, I could cut the Moray of Greed and put in Imperm again. So far, the Moray hasn't been too useful as a one of. So yeah, I think cutting that down and putting in another Imperm would be more beneficial, maybe. I'm not sure. So then we play the one Mulan Glacia. I play one of most of the Sea Serpents, besides like the ones that you need, just because they are super searchable off of Dragoons. So I'd play the one Mulan Glacia. I'd play the one Megalo, just because it's searchable again. I play the Abisteus. I play 3 of them because it's a really important card to like facilitate your combos, and it's a really nice extender that searches. It searches your Abyss Gunday, which is really nice as just an extender, so you want to see this card as much as possible. So this card with Dragoons is full combo, and it also becomes more beneficial with like the Prince, and it can even, like in the grind game, you can even discard the infantry for a pop if you need to deal with some of the either back row or problematic monsters. So then we got Lapis Dragon just as a one of, because it's searchable again, and it's a extender for Halka-Fibrex. I mean, it's got the 3 Dragoons, pretty standard. For obvious reasons, this is the most broken card in the deck. It searches the whole deck pretty much, and it's also a level 4 water monster, which comes up with Bahamut Shark, as part of the combo. Then we got Abyss Pike, and there's a little like interaction you can do with Abyss Pike that I didn't really learn until today, pretty much, when you're seeing this. So it works with the Tatsunoko and the White Aura Monoceros. So basically, you would search this using your Teus, and then you would, is it called contact synchroing? I don't know the term for it. No, not contact synchroing. Sorry. You just synchro summon using Tatsunoko, using the Abyss Pike from your hand, and then you would summon out the Monoceros, and the Monoceros would summon out the Pike, and then the Pike searches the Abyss Gundy, and then that leaves you open to go further in your combo. it's just a cool little interaction. And I found out that you'll see in one of the test hands. And then we got the Satana. It's just a level 4 water extender. Just a one of. It's not searchable because it's a worm. So it's just if you draw it and you get lucky, you draw it. Then you can go for your Bahamut Shark early if you get a nice hand, which plays around Nibiru, because then you can go for Toad and that negates Nibiru. You got the Gundy to search off of Teus, which is really nice, and then you go for Megalo and then you discard that and you get 2 level 7s on board because the Gundy revives back the Teus. Then you can go for your Abyss Gaios, and then you got your Minstrel, which is a really nice card. I don't have room to play 3, or else I kind of would, because you'd kind of want to see this so you can. Well, it's not bad if you see it in your opening hand, because you can search your other sea serpent monsters that normally you wouldn't be able to, because for whatever line of play you're going for, so on and so forth. So it's not bad to see that in your hand, but for the room of everything else that I need, I'm only playing one of it, and then we're playing the Swap Frogs. It's just another extender that discards your water monsters to the graveyard, which is really nice. Having water monsters in your graveyard in this deck is super beneficial. So I'd only play 2 of those just because I don't have room for anything else, and it's a pretty good ratio I'm finding. Then your 3 Deep Sea Diva. This is a really good card. It's pretty much full combo whenever you open with it as well. It's a 1-card combo. And there's a build where you can rip 5 cards out of your hand, which I have on my channel if you want to go check it out. I really like that build. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's a really good card. It also synergizes well with the Deep Sea Artisan, in case you run out of all of your prints in the grind game, just to kind of sort of link climb back into access code to go for a game. And you got your Rodent Totem, which is like the package with Swap Frog to help you get to Totally Awesome to play around Nibiru early. Then you got your Atlantean Heavy Infantry, which can let you extend further because it gives you another normal summon, which you can then normal summon this, and then normal summon your Deep Sea Diva, and then this lets you go for Herald of the Arclight early on to play around Nibiru again, so there's another line of play. And then you got your Prince, which is also a really good normal summon, and it's a level 1 water monster, so that works really well with Deep Sea Prima Donna to go for your level 8 synchro monsters. And it just has really nice effects to send Dragoon and search Dragoon, and you get a free search off of that. Even if it gets negated, it sends Dragoon for cost, so that means you always get the Dragoon search pretty much no matter what. Sorry, I'm moving my hands a lot, so if you hear like a bunch of background noise, like little hitting and stuff, it's just me moving my hands around on my desk. Sorry if that's annoying. Anyways, moving on, we got the Fishborg Launcher, which is like the Jet Synchron of this deck pretty much. Sucks that it can only make water synchro monsters and nothing else, or you can use it to link climb. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Kind of mediocre card, but it's worth it to play, I think. Deep Sea Artisan, this is a really nice card. You can use it. There's a cool line of play with Halka-Fibrax if you end on Halka-Fibrax. And it's more like for follow-up, right? So you Halka-Fibrax effect to summon the Prima Donna, and then on your next turn you have the follow-up to special summon the Deep Sea Artisan from your deck, and then that gets you more follow-up, and you can just start to link climb from there. Yeah, so then effectively I already went over. You got 1 for 1. This is a really nice card if you open it. I don't seem to open it too much, it's just not my luck. But definitely worth it to play because it pitches a water monster in the graveyard. So you can go 1-for-1 Dragoon if you open that, which is really nice. And you can go for the Atlantean Prince to dump Dragoon again and search Dragoon. Or you can even search the Heavy Infantry because you special summon the Prince instead of normal summoning. So you can normal summon the Heavy Infantry to then allow you to get an extra normal summon to normal summon out your Deep Sea Diva. And then you have a bunch of monsters on board that way to go for your plays. Yeah, so this deck just has a lot of ways to extend into your combo plays. Moria of Greed, I've already said, hasn't been beneficial so far, but I can see how it could be to unbrick your deck, or to unbrick your hands. But with this deck, you're really not bricking. I have yet to brick with this ratio of cards. Then you got your Deep Sea Araya. I only played 2 of them, just because it's not like a direct searcher. You have to have a card in the graveyard in order to use it as a searcher. And it's only once per turn, so you don't want to draw it too much. So I think 2 is the perfect amount to play. Just so you're not breaking all the time. Because as you can see, there's not so many spells, so it's not a spell heavy deck. So you're not really relying on spells too much anyways. Then you got your Monster Reborn cards, pretty much playing 4 Monster Reborns. With this ratio, I don't seem to draw the succession too much, besides like a 1-of here and there. But I like having multiple. Even if I draw multiple, it's not a big deal because I can just use it the next turn, and usually you only need so many cards to get your combo plays started. But it's just nice to have. It's just nice to see cards that can revive from the graveyard, just because you can go even further with your combo plays, which is what I like. I like putting up absurd boards in my decks, like absurd unbreakable boards. It's just nice to me to be able to do that. Then you got your Crossout Designator, I already went over that. Then you're playing your Kraken, which you can search off of your Megalo. Kraken is a really nice... Kraken's a really nice monster negate. I think it's mandatory if I'm not mistaken, or maybe not, I'm not sure, I forget. But yeah, so then we got the extra deck. We're playing the Croco Dragon. This card comes up a lot, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I guess. You're not playing like XYZ rank 9s, but it's still a good card because you can still pop it on your opponent's turn. It's a quick effect, and it gets you a free draw as well, which is nice, and that free draw can sometimes make all the difference. But yeah, so that's a good card to have, and it's a water monster, so why not? Borealos Savage Dragon, you don't make this too often, just because sometimes you get locked into your waters before you can get a chance to get a link monster in the graveyard to get the negates. But it does come up in the grind game, and that can be your win condition later on, like when you and your opponent are going back and forth. Then you got your Dragite. Dragite is a nice card because it's a water monster, synchro level 8. It negates only spells and traps, which is not too bad. I wish it was an Omni Negate, that would be busted, obviously. I was kind of debating maybe throwing in like a couple rock monsters that had negates, or that had effects in the graveyard in this build. Maybe like if I could find some water rock monsters, and then maybe I could use its effect and get lucky and then bounce cards to the hand. That's just an idea out there that would synergize with Dragite. But yeah, and then I already explained the Monoceros and Tatsunoko, and kind of the Prima Donna. But yeah, just nice cards. And then when this card, the Prima Donna, goes to the graveyard, you can just recycle cards from your banished pile, which is nice to have. And you got the Herald of the Arclight, plays around Nibiru. early on in some combo lines. Yeah, I like to play this card because it's an Omni Negate that plays around the bureau, like I said. Nice card to have. I think it's like a nice take on this deck to have this in there. Then you got your Abyss Gaios, which is standard. I like to play this card because it makes your Kraken live most times. You don't have to like end on a Teus or a Megalo to have your Kraken equipped. You can have a card that's like a skill drain that actually does something equipped with a monster negate, so it's quite nice to have. And you got your Bahamut Shark to summon out your Toad for that line of play. Then you have your Abyss Dweller for decks that rely on graveyard plays. So yeah, that's nice to have in there. Then you got your Access Code Talker for your OTKs, your Appaloosa. There's a really nice combo that you can go for that ends on Appaloosa, totally awesome, Gaios, and Kraken. And that's a really nice board to have. Then you got your Anemone for your furthering your plays. Unfortunately, it locks you into water monsters, so you're kind of limited on what you can do, but still nice to have. And Halqifibrax, which is like the bread and butter of this whole deck. Yeah, nice to have that. And you can also end on it for your Prima Donna to have follow up the next turn. I don't think having like a Shooting Riser Dragon or like a TG Wonder Magician would do too much in this deck, and there's not enough space in it, I don't think. So just summoning Prima Donna or even Tatsunoko off it is fine enough, I guess. Doesn't come up all that often because you're linking away Halqifibrax so you can make your Borreload Savage live, I find most times. But then you have Gamma Seal for your side deck. Yeah, and then your Cycle Reader for your Drytron matchup, or even other matchups. I think it's good versus Invoked, I think, maybe. Oh, and Gamma Seal is for like problematic monsters like Herald of Perfection or something like that, or Herald of Ultimateness. Then you got Harpy's Feather Duster and Cosmic Cyclone for back row decks. Nice to have back row removal. You got Forbidden Chalice, which is like Imperm, except it doesn't have the restriction where you have to have no monsters on your field. And you can still activate it on your opponent's turn because it's a quick play. Then you have Ice Dragon's Prison, just as another form of interruption. So yeah, I think that covers a lot. So yeah. Okay, so we are here with the test hands. So we got to start World Legacy Succession, Mermail Abysteus, Deep Sea Diva, Atlantean Heavy Infantry, and Mulan Glacia. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It seems like it's going to be pretty long. Try and edit it down as much as I can, but I'm not sure how much I'll be editing down. But anyways, let's just get into it. So we got it's just like a mirror match that I played, sort of like test hand, just played out longer, like against myself. So it's sort of like a real match, not really though, because I can see my hand obviously. Again, sorry for the clicking if you can hear that. So we're gonna normal summon out Deep Sea Diva, summon out Prince, dump Dragoon, and then search Dragoon, and then Dragoon is gonna search, and search for the Megalo, and then we're gonna Abysteus effect to dump Dragoon, to special summon out itself, And the Teus is going to go ahead and search, and Dragoon is mandatory, so it has to be chain link 1. So we're going to search out the Pike, and then we're going to search out the Lapis Dragon just as an extender for Halka Fibrax. Then we're going to go for the Tatsunoko. This was the play I was talking about. So then you can synchro summon using the Pike that's in your hand because of Tatsunoko's effect to go for the Monoceros, and then it's going to bring back the Pike that you just synchro summoned to put it in the graveyard, and then the Pike is going to search the Gundy by discarding the heavy infantry. Then we're going to go for Halka Fibrax. And Halka Fibrax is going to summon out the Minstrel. I decided to do the Minstrel because it's a level 3. And then I can also bring it back and get its effect by special summoning it with the World Legacy Succession if I need to. Just to recycle some things. And then we're going to summon out the Megalo, and the Gundy is going to summon out the Teus again. So now we have so many level 7s on board. We can make a lot of plays here. So then we don't end up actually using the what's it called? The Minstrel. For like a synchro summon, we use it just to link summon into the Appaloosa. So then now we have 2 level 7s and 2 level 4s. So we go for the Abyss Gaios and the Bahamut Shark. And then we equip the Kraken to the Gaios. And then we use Bahamut Shark's effect to summon out Totally Awesome. So yeah, and then the Dragoon that we discarded off of Bahamut Shark will get us the Deep Sea Diva for follow-up for next turn. So now we have Appaloosa, we have Totally Awesome, we have Gaios, so we have pretty much 3 monster negates, but guaranteed 1 monster negate, and then Gaios, another monster negate, kind of skill drain sort of effect. Then we have the Kraken, which is a 3rd monster negate, and we have the Totally Awesome, which is an Omni negate, which can take care of any like problematic spell and trap cards, or just anything in general. And then we have nice follow-up with Deep Sea Diva. So yeah, so this is pretty much the optimal board so far that I could find using this build. It's a really nice end board. It gets the job done. Pretty much 4-6 negations or interruptions. So yeah, it's pretty nice with follow-up. So yeah, anyways. So then on my opponent's turn, which is just me playing against myself, in the test hand kind of settings area of YGO Pro, or whatever this is called, EDO Pro. So then normal summon Deep Sea Diva, negate that, Appaloosa, and then I try and do the Teus effect, and then just negate that with Appaloosa. It's not once per turn. Teus is not once per turn, but the reason why I negated it is just so they would waste their discard. And then I know they're going to try and do it again, so then I'll just negate it again with something else. That way they waste another card in their hand, so then they're just dwindling down the cards they have in their hands. And obviously I know what cards they have in their hand because it's just a test setting. But yeah, so then they try to pop it with the heavy infantry, and I just end up negating that again. So then they summon up the Teus. Teus gets its effect, but the Kraken resolves, and that negates the Teus effect. So they don't get the search. And they try and summon out the Fishborg launcher, but I just negate that with the Totally Awesome. And then they go for the Croco Dragon, and they try to revive back with World Legacy Succession, and then they chain the Croco Dragon to try and pop my monster, and then I just end up negating the Croco Dragon with the Gaios. So they get 2 bodies on board, but it's not going to lead to anything because I got rid of all their other plays. I do like that Anemone can summon back the Croco Dragon. That does come up quite a bit because it's like you can keep getting pops, like you keep getting card advantage, and then link away the Croco Dragon and then bring it back with Anemone, and then it's like it never left pretty much, because then he gets his attack back with the cards in hand, then he can pop a card. It's just a nice interaction. But unfortunately for them, it's not going to do much besides speed over my 0 Appaloosa, which I already got the full value out of. And then we just summoned back the Toad that put itself back to the extra deck off of its own effect. That's why I like only playing one Toad, because it recycles itself for a second time, for a second usage. And then I'm just overextending for the sake of the video, just to see everything that's possible at all times, for the most optimal kind of plays, I guess you could say. So then I go for Anemone after I summon Deep Sea Diva to summon out the Atlantean Prince, and then the Atlantean Prince will dump and search. Then I go for the Anemone, and then I summon out the Minstrel, and then the Minstrel gets its effect to dump, and then I recycle back the Dragoon, which is a really nice interaction. Again, this deck is full of nice interactions, I keep saying that. And then at this point I just attack with what monsters I can attack with, get some damage in, and at this point they're screwed because I have 2 negates on the board, so I negate their Deep Sea Diva, and then the Fishboard Launcher and try and go for a Halka play, which I just end up negating that, but that even in itself, that probably wouldn't lead into anything, just because they don't have the card advantage in their hands. And then I see that I have the Prince in my hands, so I get the Totally Awesome to recycle back the Teus, and then the Teus will then discard the Prince, and I'll just get more advantage, and then go for Access Code, and then go for game. So then I just banish to search, and I keep extending here with the Deep Sea Diva, and then I go for the Herald, just so I have another negate on top of that, just in case for some reason they are able to break this. I just set up with another negate, but it's game at this point. Access Code effect to gain attack, and then I attack directly, and that's game. Awesome. So I really like this deck. It's a great deck. I might do a live testing video later. I think this video is going to be too long. So with that, I will end. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Make sure to comment on any suggestions you might have for this deck. Any cool tech that you might want to add to. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Peace.